Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Crypto Night Show. Your host Superman in the house. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is going to be a fun topic today because we're going to be talking about the top performers on Pulsechain at the moment. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We've got a few new tokens, of course, every single day that pop on there. Some of them are good projects, some of them not so good. We're going to check out what's launched today, and we're also going to get into some of the really what I think long-term performers that are going to do pretty well. So I think you guys are going to get a lot of insights here. And many of you may know a lot of these projects. Some of you will not, and so hopefully everybody will get a little bit out of it and a bit of confirmation, or find something new. That's kind of where we are now. We've got some really cool stuff happening, of course, in the Discord. You want to join up to that? The links are in the video description. We got the community membership. You can get in on that, and then we also got the strategy club. So definitely get on that. I've got a big update for the strategy club today. So you want to get on that sort of stuff. I also do monthly updates in there and daily updates on quite a regular basis. So definitely join up the Strategy Club. It is that high intel level of crypto updates. So you want to get onto that. The other thing, of course, is Telegram. We've opened up a new Telegram, and it's been exciting. So very, very cool. We're already up, heading towards about 250 members already. We only just started, and it's exciting. So get on there. You're going to find out, we've got a free alpha list. We've got free projects that pop in there. And we've also moved into not just doing YouTube, Rumble, and X videos, which we've expanded on to Rumble and X, but also moving into doing promotions, matching up really good projects with really good people out in crypto. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun for sure as we move forward. So that's all still pretty early stages. And we're moving step by step to bigger and bigger. And we're going to end up, I think, helping Pulsechain a lot generally as well. So I think we're really moving to a space that needed in Pulsechain, and we're going to, pretty advance a lot more quality cryptos, help out a lot of small, medium teams build up their brand and positioning. It's going to be a lot of fun. So it's a win-win across the board. We love win-wins, and it should be a lot of fun there. Let's see who's in the chat there. We got Wookiees in the house there. Masters Sunday. You're talking about golf? Masters Golf Sunday. Oh, awesome! And I guess you're not playing because you're watching, or are you at the clubhouse watching at the moment, Wookie? Is that what's going on? You got a nice beer in hand, looking out the window at the fairway, and of course enjoying the game. I don't know. You let me know. We got Brian in the house as well. What's up, folks? Good to see you, Brian, in the house there. And now both Wookie and Brian are community leaders in our Discord and on our socials, and they are amazing people and are doing amazing jobs. So big shout out to them as always. We got Hedgehog in the house there. Woo! Good to see you. Hey, Triple Alliance. Woo! So Triple Alliance, man, he's great. I see him everywhere on social media. He's everywhere like we are. And it's so good to see you in the chat there, mate. And yeah, Triple Alliance, definitely hit up MVS and let's get a chat going about certain things. So I'd be love to do that. So hit MVS up. MVS. All right, we got Craig Pitt in the house as well. Morning all. Good to see you, Craig. And a big welcome to you as well. Craig's a long-time watcher and supporter. Big shout out. We got Hexagrader as well. Another OG in the house. Hey, gang. Good to see Hexagrader. I hope you're doing well. And, of course, in the good old US of A. What else we got going on? We got who else has jumped in there? We got a couple more, I think. We got Bar Hop X. Big shout out to you as well. Now, if you're over on Rumble, definitely get into the chats and get social in there. And I'm just looking at a few people over there at the moment. So kind of cool to see Craig and Triple Alliance over on Rumble. Big shout out there. And on YouTube, actually, and on Rumble, we've got quite a few people watching. So get into the chat there as well. And if you're on X, get out there too. It just reminds me that I need to repost the live stream on X. So let me do that. Let's go. Bam. If you're on X as well, repost. That'd be really useful. That'd be very, very cool. All right. So there we go. Now, we're going to get into the show. So let's go for it. We're going to have a lot of fun here today. And let's get into Ready to Rumble. So here we are on X. If you haven't followed me on X, I'm having to rebuild profile on X because X suspended my main channel for no reason, and then I appealed like 10 times, and no, I got crickets. I don't have a cricket sound machine, but I got crickets, and it wasn't much fun. In fact, do I have crickets? I think I might. I don't know. I've got certain sound effects, but not crickets. Maybe that. Hey. Thank you very much. That was not supposed to be a joke, but hey, I'll take it. Oh, it looks like I do have a few sound effects, and that's just the way it goes. But it's not like I'm magical or anything. What the heck? What's going on? It's a magical weekend. It's still Sunday in the US. It's Monday here down under in New Zealand, and that is pretty crazy, right? That's pretty crappy. Crazy, not crappy, crazy though. That's hilarious. I got wow, I got all these other things here. Isn't that crazy? All right, so we might play around with that sometime as well. There we go. So join up today on the X, and I don't know if I think I've got it in the socials in the bottom of the bottom there as well. Now, if the mods could copy over the from Rumble, actually copy it over the Telegram over to YouTube and X, that'd be much appreciated. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, as Elvis would say. Kind of cool. Actually, let's get rid of that. And of course, let's move on. Let's get into the markets. And bam. And of course, you guys know we like to go markets. When we do markets, we like to go full screen. So let's go full screen here. Bitcoin at the moment. Look at that. $83,800 is down almost 2%. We had a pretty good little rally into, I guess, Saturday US time. And then Sunday's often, more often than not, I think, a sell day, isn't it? So probably no surprises there. And of course, that means it's normally a sell day on Monday down here in Australia, New Zealand, and the Pacific Islands where we live, because we're a day ahead of you guys, pretty much, or half, 2/3 of a day, something like that. And we got BDC there is down 2% at the moment. The dominance though, 61.5%, pretty strong, as you guys know. And I say this every time because it's a very important marker. Is that in the last bull market we got up to 70% before we had the altcoin season. So I just don't think we're going to get that high, as I always say, but it's always worthy of reminding ourselves every day about when that got triggered, right? When altcoin season got triggered. Now, ETH at the moment is $1,600. It is down 2.9%. And I just can't believe, we were up at $4,100 in ETH. It just goes to show you the volatility in markets and to remember to take profits as well when you have a good rally. Solana there is down 3%, $128, and a Tron is actually green, up 3.4% at 25 cents. A Tron there is the outlier, there. We got XRP is down 2%, $2.11. BNB down 2.4% at $584. ADA is down 3.5%, 63 cents. What else is looking interesting there? We got Suchain and Litecoin. That's down 4.9% on Suchain, $2.23, and Litecoin down 1% at just under $78 there. Those are the markets, and yeah, that's what else can we say? Oh, we've actually got Pi Network is actually green. Look at that. Pi Network is holding up. It's already had a big retrace, right? It had a big retrace, so maybe that's given it some resilience there for the old Pi Network. And we've been covering that because it's going to be interesting to see that. It's a terrible TradeFi project, but it's got huge users, right? And yeah, they've got a decent little roadmap there around business and all that sort of stuff, but we're going to keep following it anyway. It's going to be interesting. That leads us into the total market cap of crypto, 2.73 trillion, down 4.3% overnight, last 24 hours. And we're going to have a look at the rankings at the moment. We've got the Bitcoin number 1, Ethereum number 2. Bitcoin, by the way, is at 1.6 trillion. And so if it has to get to gold market cap, that's got to be like probably close to a 13x from here, something like that. 13x for gold, for Bitcoin to get to gold's market cap. Pretty crazy, right? And Ethereum there is at $1,600, 191 billion with a B, $billion. XRP number 4 there with 123 billion. And then we've only got three tokens there that are over $1 billion aside from this, Tether there. BNB is at number 5 at 85 billion. Solana at number 6 at 66 billion. Dodge is at number 8 at 24 billion. Tron which is having a good time at the moment, up the last 24 hours, is at 24 billion. And finally, to round off the top 10 is Cardano at just under $23 billion. And of course, the only one doing well this 24 hours is Tron up there. Now, we're going to have a look at, see where good old Pi Network is. Since everything else is down, Pi has managed to climb itself back up here. And it is up a little bit here at 73, 74 cents, back to number 29. So we're going to keep following that. Now, in terms of the best performer in the top 100, let's have a look at some of those. We've got Flare at the moment, up 5.5%. Pi Network, again, is up almost 1% there on the 24-hour. And Tron there is at number 3, the best performer in the top 10 we saw. That is number 3 at the moment. So those are the top 3. Number 4 is FET there, Artificial Super Intelligence. Now, everyone's talking about AI right now. We're going to have some variations, of course, in performance with AI. You got to really look at the project because there's lots of fake AI, very simple AI type of projects as well. Now, I don't know if you guys saw, but there was a research study that came out about AI and how it works whether it's conscious. And of course, that what did it come out with? Exactly what I expected to come out with. No, it's not, and it's just got some normal sort of thinking pathways there that they set up. So no surprises there. I don't expect anything to happen around consciousness and AI or the so-called multiverse. I just saw some science papers yesterday talking about at the black hole. On the other side of the black hole creates all new universes. It's another theory out there. These guys are making up more theories as they go, and I guess it's fine. It's science. You can you got to make up some ideas, set up some hypothesis, and then test it and prove it, right? If you can. Of course, a black hole is going to be a bit impossible, at least at this stage, to try and work that out. But you got things like that. You've also research coming out yesterday about the universe spinning, right? The spinning in the universe. We see spiral galaxies then spinning. And funnily enough, the only spiral galaxy we see with perfect spiral arms, guess where that is? It's Earth. All the other ones we see, spiral galaxies, are all messy and they're all full with radiation. And we just happen to be in the perfect spiral galaxy. Isn't that funny? Not only that, we happen to be in the perfect solar system as well, with all the right planets. We have the perfect size moon, and it happens to be just eclipse the sun. It's just so amazing, isn't it? Think about that. Think about that. It's just so amazing. Yeah, food for thought there. Maybe we should do a whole show on all that, but that is where we are. So that's on the top 5. Let's go to the last week. Best performers last week. I hate to say this is a bit smelly, but Fartcoin, Fartcoin there is 87%. That's the best performer in the last week there, so doing pretty well. Hyperliquid, their hype is up 50% as well. And Curve is doing pretty well. Curve Dow up 42%, some big moves there. Number 4 and 5 is Flare and Render up 36 and 35%, respectively. Those are our top performers in crypto based on CoinGecko's index. And they have indexed 17,000 coins. As you guys know, there's probably millions and millions and millions of coins, if not billions. I don't know. But these are the sort of the registered on CoinGecko. Kind of sets a degree of quality standard, if you want to argue that. Although a lot of stuff, of course, is in DeFi as well. And every cat and dog these days can make their own coin, right? You can either do it through fun tires or pump tires. You can do it through a lot of other third-party platforms that allow you to make tokens. And of course, I think is it Trust Swap or something. That was the old one allows you to do it. There's lots of places you can go and mint your own tokens and contracts. So that's kind of where we are. All right, so that's kind of where we are on that one. And top trending coins at the moment: Mantra, Qubit, and Ondo. Those are traded trending, but look at Mantra's down a lot, 83%. So it's trending for all the wrong reasons. Top gainers there: Gods Unchained up 54% overall. So it's over the 17,000 coins. Retard Finder coin there up 68%, and Covalent X token there up 25%. So some interesting ones there. You can always go try and check those out and see what the quality of those are like, or whether you've missed the run on those. That's kind of where we are with crypto. Let's get into Bitcoin. Bitcoin at the moment. And you guys remember what this orange circle's called, right? You remember what the orange circle's called? The circle of volatility. And then some other people made some up some other names. Now, if you've got a different name for the circle of volatility, you let me know in the chat there, because we had some good ones come up yesterday. I must admit, that was pretty funny. We got high expectations in the house. Good to see you. Big shout out there. What's the go with the beast when you get to it? Okay, cool. Yeah, get on to that one. All right, so that is where we are at the moment. $84,123 on Bitcoin, and we're actually on a bit of an uptrend now. The big deal was we knew we were going to have volatility around the tariffs, the Trump tariffs. We already had base tariffs coming on the 5th of April. Then we had high tariffs coming on the 9th of April. And then, of course, we got the market, absolutely went through a bit of a meltdown there, particularly the stock market, right? And then, of course, we have had a rebound with Trump there, giving a 90-day extension, right? So that's going to take us essentially through to the end, through to the beginning of June. So it's April, May, June, July. Well, it takes us to July. But they're going to probably deal with a lot of those by the time before we get to June. And they've probably got over 100 countries now that are wanting to negotiate. That's kind of where we are. And so what we got? We got the 4th of July. So let's map that out. We've got a little map out here. We got the map out to 4th of July. And I'm expecting the 4th of July, obviously, I think is the 250 years. What's for American independence, I think it is, or the founding. I can't remember which one. American independence. And then I think it's American independence. And then we have you guys Americans have to remind me, because I just got a little forgotten there a little bit, but I think it's the independence. And 250 years, pretty crazy, right? And then what else we got there? Then we got the 7th of July, which is Monday, and it's likely that Trump's probably going to announce the fact that he's laid the foundation laid the foundation for the golden age of America. That's what we're expecting. So that's the timeline we're expecting there. And so we're going to have a deal with all the trades. He's going to change the trade world order and get new agreements and isolate pressure China and other places. And then, of course, he's also going to get the tax bill through, right? Get the tax bill through. And he's had some recent successes there. So that's going to come through as well. So those are the 2 of 3 key things that he needs to get done for the golden age of America. Obviously, he's already working on the investment side, so he's got money pouring up to $7 trillion. That was the last time he gave us an update, which was about 2 days ago. So he is crushing it. He is absolutely crushing it, guys, with this. So that's kind of the time frame. And of course, we could take off. We could take off well before that in this area into the next parabolic wave for Bitcoin. This is kind of our wave at the moment, but we could really take off. Now, the thing is, we had almost a death cross here on the 15th September. We've almost got a death cross here at the moment, and we're almost just averting it. But we've got the 50-day at the moment, 85,500. We've got the 200-day at 85,000. So, it's getting pretty close, right? There's $500 gap there between this. And, of course, we're trying to avert a death cross, keep the golden cross going. And at the moment, we're just below the 200-day moving average. So we need some green candles coming in this week. So that's going to be very, very important there to see those. Now, I'm just going to have a quick look at the futures market and see how the stock market's looking before the open later today. So let's see where that is. And US good news. US stock futures are rising amid some reprieve from Trump tariffs. So that is very good news, folks, on the old front there. So that is really great news. So futures there are looking better. And I'm just having a look at the futures 30s. Let me have a look at the indices here. We have got green candles for tomorrow so far. Now that can reverse, of course, but so far so good. So we could end up getting a nice little push out of this here tomorrow. So fingers crossed those green futures hold up there for the beginning of the weeks, right? That's pretty cool. And we also obviously being pretty green for crypto there as well. So we had a nice green candle on crypto on the Friday. So I hope that's going to continue on moving up there in the stock market, and that should bode well for crypto tomorrow. So that's kind of really exciting. Hey, we've got about 50 people watching at the moment on YouTube. We've got about a number of people on Rumble. And we've got a number of people on X watching, so big shout out. Don't forget to smash the follow button, smash the subscribe button, hit the like button, and get into the chat and let us know what you're really liking at the moment in Pulsechain and in crypto generally. All right, that is where we are there. So we're going to get into Pulsechain. So before we do that, let's get back into the mix. And we're going to get into Pulsechain. Before we do that, let's say hello to some of the comments in the chat. And then we're going to get into the dance of Pulsechain. Let's go. All right. Let's see who's arrived. And let's scroll back up here. We got Wookie. Did someone say beast? You are a beast, my friend. He is a Wookie from another galaxy. We've got Alien King in the house there. All hail the new king of Pulsechain. We're going to be talking about that. That's launched today. That's one of the new ones. We're going to check that out. Big shout out. Welcome to the chat there. I hope you guys have followed, subscribed, and sharing it around in your telegrams. Let's get it going. And hey, look, Alien King, head up MVS. We've moved into promotions. As far as I'm aware, we're the only influencer promotions team on Pulsechain that is helping small to medium projects get up and running. And of course, even if you have early success, you always need ongoing support. So hit up MVS there as well, or DM me, and I can pass you on to MVS. He's sort of running that side of the show. Big shout out to MVS, absolutely crushing it. I call him the promotions whiz kid. I don't know, he hasn't heard me say that, but I'm just saying it now. Promotions whiz kid. He is very good, and we've got big plans. We are ramping up. We're stepping up through stages of a promotion, so it's going to be a lot of fun. King is the alpha, says Gugod. Big shout there. Pays PulseX most and a new Teddy. It does indeed, and we're going to talk about that soon. All hail the king, says Gugod there. Big shout out. Based on Rabbies, King on Pulsechain is not to be faded, says based on Rabbies. Thanks very much. Definitely hit up MVS about promoting. We've got Benjamin in the house there, Superman, best complete Pulsechain streamer. Love it. Hey, Ben, big shout out to you. Now, Ben's amazing. He's out there, not just how he helps our team. People are helping other people, right? So we're helping with promotions, and we're, giving a huge reach a huge reach to people. But Ben's out there doing a lot of stuff for a lot of people. And it's a really, really lovely thing. He does a very top quality work, and we really appreciate it. And I think all the teams that he helps also appreciate it. So big shout out there, Ben. And this is sort of where we want Pulsechain to head, right? We want Pulsechain to have quality people doing quality things. We want less crap stuff, right? Less crappy stuff, and better teams, the better quality projects that people can invest in, but still with the wide range of risk, right? As long as they're reasonable projects, it doesn't matter what their risk profile. People can decide, I want heaps of risk, potentially heaps of return. I want a relatively low risk and really good return. It's kind of where people are kind of sitting there. Ben helps a lot of teams there. So big shout out to Ben there. Right. Treasury is king, says Board to Debt. All right, so let's get into it. We're going to get back into Pulsechain. This is kind of the main event now. Let's get onto it, and let's see where we're going here. So we got Sparta at the moment is just arrived. So Sparta there has just dumped this sort of this here is from a Wendy's for Tendies. He's an old Hex OG, and he is at the top of the leaderboard here on the trending. Now this is the default view, of course, of Deck Screener. You can see the token's only been around for 9 hours and 13 minutes. So we're going to do a little brief coverage of this. What happened there? I don't know. So that is the 15-minute chart, by the way. So it's only been around for a little while. So 15-minute chart. And it's currently at just under 9 cents. Looks like it opened up with a big power at what did it got up to 41 cents. 41 cents. These opening candles are always pretty crazy, aren't they? The opening candles. And of course, ended up getting sold off a little bit there. This is 15-minute candles, remember? And then it had a little rise to about 21 cents here. And then it came all the way down to 7 cents. It's now sitting at around about just under 9 cents there. 1.6 million liquidity, 16.7 million market cap. And it is had $2.5 million of volume, so a lot of volume there. And the makers there, 417. So you can see the buy volume there is pretty much even. So it's got this mechanics operating as well. What else there? You can check out the supply, but I think the supplies, just trying to remember what the supply is of Sparta. Let me think about that. I'm going to have to pull up something just a moment. I'm going to have to exit there and pull something up, and so I can have a look at that. Have a look at this one. All right, so let's get into it. Let's check that out, and I'm going to open that up. Bam. All right, let's go back to it. Let's go back to it. I gotta wait. All right, so let's see here. We're having fun today. A big shout out to everybody. The live viewers are climbing, and if you're new to the channel, smash the subscribe button. If you love top crypto commentary on crypto and on Pulsechain, Titan X, we cover that too. We're going to be covering X1 from Jack Levin when it launches. That's going to be huge. The first fork of Solana. I can't wait for that. When it eventually arrives, it always takes longer. That's the one thing in crypto, timing, right? Always takes longer than people expect. And of course, it's just the way it goes. Now, we've got 43 holders at the moment, apparently. Now, I'm presuming this is indexed and up to date because, not 9mm scan. But it looks like we've got about 2 billion tokens there in the supply. But we're going to get to that in the website because the website's got the stats as well. But this is what it says. Sparta there. Hexkins were forged in fire. We are Spartans of crypto. FUD, hate, ridicule. All of it fuels us. We're here to save crypto. Dig your heels in the sand and stand with us in glorious combat. And paired with the RH coins, we stand with the most wanted man in crypto. 5 to 5 tax, so 5% tax there to fuel the treasury for buyback. So there we go. That is the Sparta. Let's have a quick look at the website. We're just doing a quick review of this while we're moving on. And it's, so we've got the stats here. So it looks like they've got how much? They've got a breakdown here. They've got the treasury, 4% in there. The burns just started, 0.04%. LP's got 0.5% in it. And the circulating supply, 95%. That is the way this is going at the moment. And it's filling up with Hex, right? So filling up with Hex there at the moment. So I've got the vision page as well. So I've got the vision there with a nice little white paper. The Spark system is simple. It has a 5% tax on buys and sells. There we go. So that is the new coin out there. And that is from a Hex OG, which is Wendy's for Tendies. So there we go. It's got a liquidity web there as well. And so on. So it pays selected high volume such as PLS, PLSX, incentive of Zoldex. So it's got smaller link appears there as well. So kind of cool. That is a bit of a brief preview of Sparta. And so, yeah, if the team's out there, hit me up and we'll do a full preview of that. That's what we can say about that. It's kind of cool. Let's get back into it. Where that is kind of a teaser of what's coming up. So we're going to get back into the daily results for Pulsechain, day 702, and then we're going to get on to some more performers there. We've got Pulse at the moment, quadruple 0249 is down 3.7%. And we've got Pulse there at the moment, quadruple 0211, down 4% as well. It was actually rallying last night, as you guys know. And the buy and burn 1.37 trillion, and 6.94% of the public supply is gone forever now with PulseX. Incentive token $1.18, down 4%, and the supply is 55 million. As you guys know, Richard Hart's team, they cut the inflation by 20x, down an only 5%. And you guys know that inside the Master Chef contract for PulseX is a little thing, that comment that says that once the token is fairly distributed, that it would be handed over to the DAO, and we're waiting for that. So that could be, with the cut inflation, that's an early sign, perhaps, that is happening. The other side of cutting inflation, and of course, the liquidity dropped dramatically, a couple $100 billion, I think it was over $200 million. That creates thinner liquidity pools, and therefore it can pump up and down based on Hart's law, and also the formula X times Y equals K formula for Uniswap V2. And you can go up at a square, you can go down to the square much faster. So that's what I said. We could see Pulsechain running away even after all these vicious black swan and grey swan events that we've endured. We've definitely got some white swan events on the horizon potentially that could really rally this forward. And a key player to that, of course, is the new onboarding corporate giant from Europe, a Sun Mini Mill, and that could be massive, right? That is expected to go online with I think was it I'm just trying to think, on Banks or BanksX or something like that. It's not BankX, but what's it called? Banksa, I think it is. We got Hex at the moment is at 6400th of a penny. Hex was really rallying hard yesterday. Did a great job on a move, and EHEX at 16th of a penny. Combined price EHEX at PX is now at 8/10 of a penny, up from 7/10 of a penny yesterday. And Hex on Pulsechain had a nice little rally yesterday. Just maybe a taster of things to come, right? Just a small taster of where Hex is going. Very, very, very cool. And talking about that, we had a little comment up the top in the chat there that it makes for interesting comments. So let's see here. No, that's not the one I want to talk about. So that is where we are there on the moment. Let's have a look at the gas prices. Now, gas prices have been ruthless on Pulsechain, up and down. Some mega changes. At the moment, it's pretty modest at 4 million beats. And we got 4 cents for a PulseX swap. That's good to see. But man, that can cause some havoc sometimes. We got 49,182 validators, so that's been slowly climbing. People are taking the opportunity of cheap Pulse at the moment. The bridge at the moment, 81.6 million. So definitely I think we're up slightly from yesterday. So that's good to see. Maybe 100,000 up from yesterday. So that's not bad, despite some of the prices being down there. Pretty sure that's where we were. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe we're just looking through some of these numbers. Actually, we may be slightly down from yesterday, maybe 100K. So that's kind of where we are. All right, so volume on Pulsechain, 33.4 million. We've got 222,000 transactions. We've just talked about Sparta. That's kind of leading the way. It's only been out for 9 hours. The next one, of course, we're going to get into is King here. That's just launched as well. That's been launched a bit earlier, 20 hours and 40 minutes ago. And we've got a little update there. King pays rewards in PulseX, Most, and Teddy. King pays in rewards in PulseX, Most, and Teddy. And those are the ones there. And we've got a few people from that team in the chat there at the moment. So kind of cool. Let's go through some of those again. We've got Good there. King is the alpha. Pays PulseX, Most, and Teddy. You got that right. You get 100% for that. You get 100%. All hail the King, says Good God there. So that's just launched. And let's have a look at the stats. So this is a much smaller protocol compared to the other one we saw. But it's still got, opportunity there. We've got 85,000 market cap, 7.5K liquidity. So this is the other end, right? We've got these big liquidity pools. We've got these smaller projects, and we help out, projects like King and that. So definitely hit up MVS there, Good God, and we'll get into that. Now, they've had 181 makers, so it's pretty good. That's pretty good, especially for the size of the project. And we've got the buy 16K over 13K. So it's been not too bad there, but of course, some profit taking here going on at the moment here, we can see. So they're going to have to find a floor price. Market will decide what that is. So we'll keep a lookout for that. Let's go to the Twitter and check that out. Hopefully this is going to show up now. It keeps showing up in a different browser for some reason. And I've got to fix that setup. I don't know what's doing that, but we'll work it out. And Alien King here, I've even followed them. So there we go. Follow the King. And that is up there at the moment as well. Pays rewards and PulseX most in Teddy. So there we go. And that is only just started that account. So bam, bam. That is a bit of a preview there. Those are the two ones that have just launched. Now, we often, every day, we have some new coins launch. And we've got Sparta and King. Both of them got pretty good brands, actually. They look a lot better than most projects that we see launch, which are often, fly to the nighters coming over from pump tires. We've got another one here talking about that. These ones just jumping up here is Stellar. That's jumped up as well. Let's see if this has got anything. Nothing really. And let's have a look here. Joe Master Silver coins minted, and yeah, so just another quick probably pump tires one is my guess. Just coming up with a random theme. We got Trump from Pump Tires. This has actually been performing pretty well, right? That's up 25%. So Trump has actually been doing pretty well. Not surprising with the Trump brand and the golden age of America coming up. That is the chart at the moment. So it seems to have bounced off. 0093 is now at 0017. So that's up quite decently. And I noticed this has been performing quite well. Now, if you guys haven't got into our Telegram, post the link. I don't know if the mods can post the link there, but definitely, there it is there. Thanks, Brian. So that is the link. You can join up to our Telegram today. We've got a free alpha list. We update it every day. We're going to be curating it as well. That means that we're going to be, we update it, based on quality as well. So, we try to keep the better performing tokens in that list. So there we go. That is the list to join free alpha and join up today and share that around. Once you get in there, type /link and get your own referral code and bring on new people. The bigger the group grows, the more successful everybody's going to be. So both teams and people that are in there, and we're posting nonstop really cool projects in there. So definitely join up today. So big shout out there. Looks like I've got about 100 people watching at the moment. So big shout out to everybody. And don't forget to smash the subscribe and hit the follow as well. You guys know how we roll here, and we are only just getting started. And so it is a team effort. It's not just me in the front here. We've got a whole team starting to ramp up as well. So join what's hot, join the trending, and that's what we're doing here. And we have a real positive view of Pulsechain, and we're going to go from strength to strength. That's all I can say. Let's see who else has jumped in here. We've got a few more comments here. We've got Tortoise Johnny. Will the moon be in sight by the end of 2025? Says Tortoise Johnny. Hey, look, we had a blood red moon last night. It was right on the horizon. It was ginormous. It was huge. It wasn't as big as some I've seen in Africa on videos, but it was really, really huge. It was really amazing. I can't wait for that. We got Bart Hop says, if you want free alpha from Superman, join the Telegram. Absolutely, Bart Hop. Appreciate that. Big shout out. And of course, cover OG. Yeah. OG Web Chef, you want us to go there? Yeah, okay, we're going to look at all those. That's coming. So we're going to look at a lot of the printer tokens from OG Web Chef. Let's get into that. So we got Gas Station. That's doing pretty well, right? So Gas Station. This is looking, it's going from strength to strength, isn't it? So this is the daily chart, but let's have a look at the 4-hourly. Let's go 4-hourly chart on this. This is a trader's view, right? That is a really good support at 4400th of a penny. Now up at 5700th of a penny. And this is doing very well indeed. And of course, you need some gas money. Go to the gas station, hit the ATM, use PIN 5555, and you're on your way to earning gas money. So that's very, very cool. And they got a website, so we're going to go to that. I love the artwork on this one, actually. This is a Finvestor. This is a OG Web Chef. And you can check out, there's OG Web Chef there. And it's just they've got many, many printer tokens, right? This is kind of the king of printer tokens now. I guess it all got Genesis, began from PDGC way back about a year and 7 months ago. And now these guys have got web LPing and balancing, big volumes getting dropped, tokens to your wallet, things like that. They've got lots of cool stuff. There's so many tokens in each system as well. So kind of cool. You can see them all. There's heaps of them. Some of them perform, they move, they manipulate or move some of them at different times. Remember, of course, Dominance. You guys know a lot of these ones. Missor, that's been performing very well recently. Lots of them here. And it's kind of cool. So that is going pretty well. And let's jump over to Sparta. We talked about that. X is up 10%. So that's kind of cool. Doing well. USDC coin. Let's jump over to that. There'll be that's an original one there. We got Chords, Knights of Orion there. So big shout. Recently joined this on the Telegram. Looks like they got a nice little chart happening here. They got pretty good liquidity, 374K, 2.9 million market cap. They haven't got a lot of makers. Only one maker here for some reason. Not sure what's going on there. I can see two transactions in the last 24 hours. So not a lot of transactions, but chart's still looking pretty good there. You'd want to definitely deep dive into do that community before probably participating. But that's kind of where we are at the moment. Cord introduces a fun subculture to the Ord community ecosystem. Cord embraces meme and community-driven spirit there, and they have a website, website and Telegram, etc. We'll have a quick look at the website, I guess, as a quick preview. So these are kind of my quick previews here of what these projects are. And let's see if Knights of Orion there come up. There we go. Got some cool knights. We all like knights. What did I say about guys? Guys like talking about the Roman Empire or something. I don't know if I've been thinking about the Roman Empire a lot. It may come up every so often in some research, but that's about it. That is where we are on Cord. There, not bad. Performing pretty well. Can't argue against that chart at the moment. What else there? We got UFO, which is what I call the child of PDGC. And of course, PDC and UFO, if you're talking about top coins, right? You got the Richard Hart coins, right? So you got Pulse, PulseX, Incentive, and Hex. But then you're wanting to look for some of the big ecosystems, the big communities with quality products. And so what have you got? One of the top ones outside of Richard Hart coins that you'd probably want to get into. Once again, you have to do your own due diligence. Nothing is investment advice. Is PDC and UFO, right? Those two, are big projects, big communities, very good branding. They've just rebranded PDC and UFO, and these are really good ones to consider getting into as well. So this is kind of cool. Now, if you want to get more details on this, definitely join up to our strategy club. The link is in the Discord there, so join up to that. It's only $35 a month, and you're going to get a lot more intel there, so definitely join up. Now, we've got quadruple 018 at the moment on the old UFO, and this is going to be fun to watch this project move on. You can already see it had a big rally, just like PGC had a bit of a profit taking. It was due. You always get one of these, and then it just lays a foundation for moving up. Once Pulsechain and the ecosystem moves up again, you can already see it starting to make that move at the moment. So really good entry, buy low and sell high, as they say. And of course, you earn as well on the website. So let's quickly go to the website of PGC, the Grays. Big shout out to the Prairie. He's probably the top YouTuber influencer covering this project. Does an outstanding job. He knows this project upside down. He's done all the spreadsheets and all that. And so big shout out, check him out if you want to find out the next level. He talks about tactics and strategies and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, UFO, you got TGC, PGC there, looking pretty good. You got massive burn, 12% burn, predicted to burn another 16. And what is it? I guess it's additional. Yeah, additional. We got there is holders 14,200. There's over 14,000. Of course, we covered that in a video the other day. They got 3,200 stakers almost. That is very, very cool project. And definitely check that out. And of course, that's what I call the grandfather or the father. And then you got the child there. The UFO is a project that supports that, right? And it has a different tax on it. 6% buy tax and 6% sell tax there. 1% goes to buy and burn PGC. So you can sort of see how that plays out. So definitely check out the tokenomics there on that. So those are probably two, very good opportunities in the ecosystem there, PGC and UFO. Now, 9mm, of course, is our second biggest DEX. Now, I don't include Famous, of course, but Famous is I've got to cover the old Fame ecosystem because that's sort of sitting back there, and they've got a lot of liquidity on there. But at the moment, 9mm is performing very well, and we can actually see liquidity 1.9 million, so kind of low for DEX, but it's our second biggest DEX compared to PulseX, for example, which is doing 31 million, right? So 9mm doing pretty well there at 1.9, and 9-inch at the moment is doing 700,000. It gives you an idea. Now, you guys know that I'm a big supporter of Jacob and the PUSD ALGO protocol. That's going to be our first algorithmic coin coming to Pulsechain. That's going to be a big deal. Potentially offering not only a stable coin that could be really pegged to $1, which is going to be of big value itself. It also is going to have a V3 DEX, which means it's going to be competing with these protocols. And also it's going to have a DeFi platform with multiple yield opportunities on it. So that combination, pretty powerful. And that's potentially all sitting inside a wider ecosystem, including potentially a Mafia game and, of course, his casinos that I understand are going to be, consolidated and expanded on a bigger platform. So that's going to be pretty exciting. So we're looking forward to that. I don't know. I'm hoping it's going to include slot games, but that's coming up as well. Kind of cool. So I think we're going to have two big gaming platforms really on Pulsechain. We're going to have Jacob's protocols for Mafia and the casinos, We're going to have also X Game coming up, which is massive. That's from Firewell, and of course that is Randy Yolasky's big whale friend there. And the X Game is coming, and that's going to be exciting. We're going to be talking about it a lot. X Game. I think it's going to be a very, very exciting opportunity for everybody. So keep tuned for that. It's going to be awesome. All right, so that is coming up there. Big shout out to Randy Yolasky out there, crushing it in the DMV. I don't know. I love the word DMV. I don't know what it is, but anyway, we're going to do some stuff here. Oh no, what's happening? Oh, the crowd goes fast. All right, so let's get into it. Let's get into the magic, and we've got some more coins here. So let's go back to that, and we're going to see how else we're going here. I don't know where I got lost here on the old on 9-inch there. So we've got 9mm. So let's get our list back on. And we're scrolling down here through 9mm there, of course, number 2 DEX, and that is been up 5.6%. What have we seen recently on Pulsechain? We've seen the reemergence of some of the DEXs, because I was saying, hey, look, we're getting all these new pump tide tokens, we're getting all these new projects launching, but what's happened to the quality DeFi? The big sacrifice projects, what's happening to these sort of projects? And of course, what's happening to other DeFi? It's not just sacrifice projects, but other DeFi in that space, the sort of big ones, like the Dexes and the farms and the liquidity forks and all those sort of things that have been on here, and we've started seeing a little bit of a move in the Dexes, which has been pretty cool. So here at the moment we've got 9mm kind of moving up, and you can see it's off the bottom, so you can sort of see the chart here. I'm going to go to the weekly actually. Let's go to the daily. I guess the daily's all right. It's enough data, but we came all the way down here. I mean, excluding this big spike down here, we came all the way down to 4/10 of a penny. And then we've managed to get a higher low here and get some support right back in December 24 and April here, and at 1,500 penny, and now we've started to rise back up here at 2.5 cents. So we're getting some really nice moves back here on 9mm at the moment. So that's kind of cool. And let's go have a little look at the website. This is the second biggest DEX at the moment on DEX Screener. And like I say, I think Famous has got more liquidity, so I'm going to have to go double check that. I haven't been on that for a little while. So that is the 9mm there, and you can get to the protocol as well. We'll probably do that again. Now, I did do a video about a week ago, if you guys remember, no, maybe 2 weeks ago, on all the quality DeFi. I mean, we went through 15 to 20 projects. These are all the top DeFi projects on Pulsechain. That people that they're holding lots of value TVL, but they're just not as exciting as all the next sort of tokens coming up. But we went through all those quality. Check out that video. It's a really good video on there, and that's the only one out there on it. So, on this channel, we're pretty much covering all of Pulsechain, and you're going to get most of the stuff we cover on here has not been covered anywhere else. And, it's pretty awesome because we do the comprehensive show on the old Pulsechain. We're not just covering one project here, one project there. We're really trying to, show you the deep dives of Pulsechain, so that when you come to watch the show, you'll have a really good appreciation of Pulsechain. Even if you've been away for a couple of weeks, you come back, go, oh, wow, I watched the show a couple of days and I already back up to speed. It's kind of what we're trying to do, right? Trying to do there. So kind of cool. We if we can get back to here, 7-8 cents, that could be a pretty nice move up there, right? That's quite a few X's. Just getting back to that previous high, that's 175. So 2x, let's say, sitting in there waiting for people to get there. We go back to the old high, of course. It's even higher than that, right? So it's close to 10x there. So I think there's some opportunity there as the market rallies. DEXs tend to rally. That's kind of what we see. So pretty exciting. All right, big shout out to everybody. Looks like we've got about 150 people watching at the moment. So don't forget to smash the subscribe button, smash the follow button, hit the like button, and most importantly, share and repost. That really does happen. Share and repost. You can share on socials or share it in your Telegram group, your Discord group, wherever you are. You can share that around, and it'd be a great help there. All right, and don't forget to get into the chats because we love that too. And it's going to be a lot of fun. All right, so let's get back into that. We've got 9mm. We've got Mnemonics there, another printer token from OG WebChef there, and it's doing pretty well. What do you get paid? Let's see. It hasn't got the details there, but I'm pretty sure this is a WebChef too. Yep, WebChef. So there we go. Sometimes I have to double check, because there's so many of them. But that is where we are at the moment. So it's sort of just consolidated along the line there at $16.50. Not bad, not bad. So WebChef there ticking away. And what else we got here? So these are all doing pretty well at the moment. X, of course, we talked about that. Gophers. Now, Gophers was from Dipcatcher. You guys remember Dipcatcher and Goldkey? During the bear market, they made Hex great again. They really did. They made Hex great again, along with Alex McFerder. They created amazing products around the Maximus products. And they also, with Alex McFerder, created Hedron and Icosa. And it was incredible. They did a fantastic job. They got something like 2 billion 2 billion hex off the market, can you believe 2 billion? They were a major contributor. So big shout out to those guys. You can't say enough good stuff about them. Now, Gophers was the first contract, 404. If you guys remember on Ethereum, it got launched and it was pretty experimental. And I'm sort of moving around a bit here. But it was pretty cool. You can see here, Gophers is an ERC 404 contract. Now, obviously on Pulsechain, they're PRCs, right? We just changed the name. It's just a vampire attack. Vampire attack there. And we got bridges the gaps between ERC 20 and ERC 721. And when you acquire at least one full unit, you receive 1 out of 6 available NFTs, which are images of Gophers. So it's pretty awesome. And they're an executive team. They're a flash drive, the engine, Big Bang, Megabyte, Buzzword, and Lockdown. Now, this is starting to recover. So we're gone from, this is on the hourly chart there, we've gone from 94 here up to 136. That is awesome, right? That is the dollars. So we go from $94 up to 136. So this seems to be gaining a bit more attention again on the old Gophers there. And of course, if you haven't checked out Dipcatcher, I argue one of the most creative devs on Pulsechain, and has certainly produced a lot of great value on Pulsechain. Hey, look, ultimately the market always decides, but I think from a product point of view, he's done a fantastic job. Pretty awesome. Now, also in Hex, right? So Maximus is going to be there's two big whales out in the far distance around after the 2030s. It's the Hex Gold Whale, and then it's the Maximus whale accounts, right? So all those big stakes, that's going to be pretty big. So if you want to get on Hex on the longer term, that's, or medium term even these days, then that's something you could look at. Is the Maximus pool there, because it's accumulating hex after hex, and it had a really early share rate. And so, yeah, pretty exciting. Now, I know the hex payout's gone down since the OA sacrifice wallet sacrificed, but that's probably a good thing so you may lose on the volume quite a lot. You're going to make it big, potentially big on the price. So we're going to see how that goes. We also don't know what the Hex Gold Whale is going to do, because the Hex Gold Whale comes out before Maximus. So that's going to be interesting to see that play out as well. See, this is drama that's coming out in the future, and we're looking out with our binoculars, and we can sort of see it, right? We can sort of see it. It's pretty funny. All right, so let's get into stuff that 404s. We always talk about PRC 20s and 721s and 1155s. There's kind of the NFTs and the tokens, but it's nice to be able to talk about a 404 contract, and that's from Gophers there. So pretty unique, relatively unique on Pulsechain. Kind of cool. Hex, of course, has been a really big rally, and we've got to talk about Hex, right? Because it did so well yesterday. Now it's obviously cooled off a little bit, cooled its jets, and of course we'll pull up an RSI. If you're actually doing anything in crypto, the minimum technical indicator you want is the RSI, right? And then I would say probably averages, moving averages as well. So you could get if you want to do short term, you could do a 9 and a 34 averages, right? And if you want to do a kind of a bit longer, a 50 and a 200 moving average. That's kind of if you had those moving averages and you had the RSI, they're kind of the minimum that you want for TA, right? And then, of course, you can get more sophisticated after that. And there are some real gurus out there that are pretty good. But you're probably looking at 1 in 20, right? 1 in 20 person covering TA on the internet is actually, outside using the basic stuff, is actually any good at trading, right? So just remember that. So when you're looking at 20 people on YouTube for trading videos, just think that only 1 in 20 of them is probably any good. So just remember that. And so that's going to take you a little bit of a while to work that out. You will see the genuine ones, the actual success ones sort of gleam through after a while. And you go, oh yeah, this guy's actually delivering. It's not just something he made up in some AI project or something. So there we go. All right, so we're looking pretty good there on Hex. That is doing pretty well. And we actually spiked up, right? We spiked up to 7800th of a penny. And that was pretty good. And we've just cooled off here. You can see the RSI on the daily for Hex is sitting at 52. And that's just above the average of 50. So when it gets below 30 on the RSI, that means that it is in the oversold territory, right? So that means that the price could rebound and volume could come back in. And when you get over the 70, that means it's getting into the overbought territory. That means that the market could sell it off and move down here. So you can kind of see this one here. We rallied all the way on the RSI from 35. We went all the way up to 67. We didn't quite get into the oversold territory, but it did get a lot of resistance on that move. You can see the volume picked up and the price picked up here. And it took a little bit for it to get a bit weak, got a bit weak here, and then it just caved out, and then it got sold right down there as well. Now, obviously, could have been specific fundamental news on that day as well that sent it down. So you do have to go back and check that. But that's kind of where we are at the moment. And as you can see, we got down pretty low on the RSI 31, and just giving the timing where we are in the calendar after the Trump reversal on trade. We then had some sort of rally up here on the RSI 53, and of course the price here has rallied pretty hard. And you guys know we've got thinner liquidity, right? Thinner liquidity since incentive token got cut. And so therefore we can move up and down much faster. And of course it goes up at a square, right? Because of the X times Y equals K formula for Uniswap V2 pools, right? And if you want to see where's the V2 pool, well, you can see up at the top there's a V2. It's not a V1, right? It's a V1 pool, but there are V1 pools around. But there's a V2, and of course V3 pools are a lot more exotic, right? You can provide liquidity on just one side, and we do have some dexes that do that, right? And provide just one side liquidity that you can do, and they've got far more sophisticated, algorithm. And of course, there's V4 coming, right? V4 as well. All right, so kind of cool. That's where we are at the moment on Hex. That's looking good. I've said that Hex looks good, and it's gonna when it goes, it's gonna go. And we've been through so many Black Swan and Grey Swan events. After over the last 702 days at minimum, plus all the time before, if you like pre-launch for Hex. But when this goes, it's going to go. It's going to go, and it's going to be so fast. And then people are going to go, "Oh my god, I faded. I was one of those guys, even though it took longer than I expected. It always takes longer than expected. It always does. And of course, you can't. We've had Pulsechain has had a lot of bad Black Swan events and Grey Swan events, but there will be White Swan events coming up. And once those start happening, bam, it goes, up, and it goes real fast. And we're going to get some silly prices when it does, right? Just like we get silly prices on the way down, people are like going, "Oh my god, I can't even believe it went down this far." We get that on the upside as well. And like I say, I think we're looking pretty prime. Now, the one thing we've got coming up, right, for the Hex and Pulse chain is, if I remember rightly, is the 21st, and that is this line here, right? That's the SEC extension. So let's see what happens. They've got a very weak case. And we know that the Trump administration is pulling down all their lawfare, and I suspect we may see them abandon this in style, right? We say we dutifully reviewed and we decided we're going to let it go. Now they may try to, if they do try to continue it, it would be kind of weird because it's probably one of their weakest cases, right? They're just lost in the court, and so that'd be a very low. I have a small probability of that outcome, right? That's all we kind of do, just making a judgment here. And so we'll see what happens. But I think they super lost in the court. It was bad. I mean, it was a massacre in the court. I think anyone with a reasonable writing ability, reasonable, intellect, could have written something probably without the law. You probably use Grok or something to find the case law. Could put together something way better than what they put together. It was pretty sad work, if you ask me. Now, so that's kind of where we are there on that one. And so let's see what happens in the next few days. It's going to be pretty crazy. We're looking already pretty good, rallying into it, right? Rallying into the move. That's a bullish sign. Rallying into the move with a week to go. So we're going to keep a lookout on that, folks. We're going to keep a lookout for that as well. So it looks like we're moving up to, we've got about 170 people watching. So definitely smash the subscribe button now and hit the follow button. If you're on Rumble, hit the follow button. If you're on X, hit the follow button. If you're on YouTube, smash the subscribe button. And of course, don't forget to join the Telegram. That's our latest group there. It's got a free alpha group list covering the top tokens. We're going to be updating that again today. That's something we're going to be doing as well. If you're a new project team, you got a project that's launched and you want some support promotions, as far as I know, we're the only people doing it. We've just gone into it in the last week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, and we've got a big roadmap for where we're heading with that. And we're going to match great projects with great people with different risk and returns on each of those. So it's going to be a lot of fun doing that. So just hit us up, hit me, MVS up or me up, either in Telegram or Discord after you join up. And that is the Telegram there. So big shout out there. Brian has also posted that link if you want to use his. Kind of neat. All right, so that's kind of cool. Let's jump into some good stuff here, and we're going to get back into the mix. So Hex there looking pretty exciting. Now, that's what I said. If you're looking for long-term quality, you don't want to put all your tokens at risk, right? Don't go into one token because you're FOMOing in. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. All right, keep a diversified portfolio. And if you miss out on big upside because you didn't go all in on something, don't worry about it. Because all you have to do is go all in on something and it crashes and you're out of the game, right? You're out of the game. So don't be that guy. Don't be that guy or that girl. Keep your diversified portfolio and so on, right? So that's a different topic, portfolio management, but just remember that really avoid that urge to go full on FOMO just because maybe you made 5x on one project and you think, oh, this thing's looking hot, I'm going to make 100x on this. Don't do it, right? Keep a diversified portfolio, and you'll be in the game for a long time if you do that, right? So remember that. All right, so Hex doing very well there at the moment. We got Remember is making a bit of a comeback. So Remember there had a bit of a call off. There's another printer token, right, from OG WebChef, and we saw it did a big rally, right, and it sort of tapered back here. Currently sitting around 7 zeros, 1156, 97k liquidity, 54k volume, and of course you guys know this pays you pulse in your wallet, right? So you get pulse in your wallet, just drops to your wallet. Very, very cool. So that's kind of neat. There are a couple of trackers out there that you can track tokens. So if you want to find those, definitely join up to the Telegram, and we can help you out with the trackers for the printer tokens, particularly for OG WebChef projects like Remember and Beast and all these others there that are out there, Mnemonics and others. So kind of cool. It is one of the big 4 categories at the moment is printer tokens, and you can see them constantly performing very well on Pulsechain. Now, we've got ALGO there, of course, that's doing pretty well, up 1%. That's basically on the back of Hex, so that's been quite strong lately. And then we've got the Fetch Oracle. Now, let's talk about oracles, baby, because Pulsechain didn't have an oracles, right? People will create internal kind of oracles, but they're not true oracles. They don't not decentralized, separate from their protocol. And we have seen Fetch Oracle. This launched from Liquid Loans, and this is operating. It's ticking away. And we're going to have a quick look at the website. But we're waiting for the second Oracle to come Pulsechain. It's launched about 3 weeks ago, I think it was, Fetch Oracle. But we're waiting for the Signum Oracle, right? And Signum Oracle is going to have a few more bells and whistles on it. So we're looking forward to that. And you can see that people can do tipping and reporting here as well. And so people will be setting that up more and more on this site here. So they have staking, reporting, and so on. And you can get into the whole ecosystem for that. All right, so that's kind of cool. That is ticking away there at Fetch. But we're waiting for Signum Oracle, as you guys know. And we're excited about where that will head to. So it's nice seeing the Oracle there getting pushed up a bit. Typically, you'd buy these tokens if you were going to, I think you need $500. Two projects up and running, Tetra and Signum. So they're coming up. They will be covering that. They're getting there, but they just got to make sure it's all perfect. And it's going to be down like this. The Tetra is going to be downloadable. It's going to be it's going to be really made. We're going to cover that in full. It's going to be coming down, and it's going to be able to do what they call blocks and connectors or node and connectors. And you're going to be interacting with smart contracts and all sorts of stuff. It's going to open up a whole new area of Pulsechain. It is a really big game changer, I think. It's going to be a niche at first, I think, a niche part. But it could be expanded with education, and we might see that become a significant niche, like a larger niche that people are using for trading and doing strategies, automating, airdrops and things. It's going to be crazy what it can do. Basically, it's taking away a lot of the coding that you can do. So you can do a certain amount of advanced things without needing to be able to code. And I think a lot of people would be keen on that, right? People that like to start their own tokens that don't have coding background could be able to do far more clever things with that. So it could be pretty neat. We'll see where it goes. Kind of cool. So that's kind of where we are at the moment. We've talked about a lot of these. Let me scroll down a bit further. We've got one meme. The one meme, there's a new project that's just launched recently, so that's ticking away there 2 months ago. Kumam on there as well is ticking away there. Up X token, that's related to Pulse, right? So that's from Haunted. That's ticking away there too. In fact, we might have a quick look at that chart on the Up X there. So it's just ticking off the bottom there. 00012 now 00015. Let's see how we're doing for time here. Don't want to get too ahead of myself. 58 minutes, so 50 minutes on the hour. Teddy Bear. Now, Teddy Bear is the Teddy Bear takeover, right? This is the new one that's supported by Moon King, and it's currently sitting at the 006. So it's actually holding up pretty well. This is the hourly chart, and let's go to the daily chart here. It's only been around for a few days. How long? 6 days and 5 hours. Now, this is probably going to do very well. Why do I say that? Not just because I'm saying it, but because it's got big influences like Moon King that have moved away from the OG Teddy Bear or bear there, the Atropa one, and it's moved on to this new one, Takeover Teddy. Now, this has been ticking away there. Obviously, it's got the cool Teddy meme, and this has been one of the 2 best memes. So we got OG Teddy and we got Teddy Takeover, and these are both going to probably be pretty good. Now, obviously, there's pretty large holders of these tokens. Just remember that there's a new token on the old Teddy, and you can definitely check that out on the tokenomics. I'm not going to go through all of it at the moment, but this is probably going to be one of the better ones to get into. So we talked about PDC. Now this is a bit more riskier, right? Because I think PDC is far more of a bigger investment vehicle in many ways, with the lower risk return. But I think Teddy could do something special. But once again, take care there. But I think that's one of the better ones that you could potentially put in your portfolio. But do your due diligence for doing that. But I think that's going to, Teddy and PDC probably going to do pretty well there as well. Now the Teddy social is pretty small. It's only a couple hundred, but it's backed by Moon King's into it and all that sort of stuff. He's the biggest technical influencer, as I remember, outside of Richard Hart. He's got about 110,000 followers on X, and a pretty big influence there. So we'll see how that goes away. Trope is down 3% at the moment. SolidX. Now, we talked about PDC, and of course, we talked about Teddy. Well, SolidX is another one you don't want to fade, right? It's a pretty exciting one. Why do I say that? Well, it's Fire Whale, right? So one of the big whales on Pulsechain, friend of Randy Alaski's, and he has got SolidX. Now, we're going to have the new game launching, X game. It could launch any day now. They're waiting for the casino licenses. So it's actually going to be one of the few cryptos with casino licenses in the world. And this could be pretty huge. And it's going to start with a crash game, and then they're going to broaden out to other games to make more of a fulsome kind of decentralized crypto casino. But the first one's going to be Crash Game, and we're pretty excited about where it's going to head. Now, 30% of the revenue is going to go to people that refer people. So it could be pretty lucrative from that. Everybody can do it, influencers or anyone in the community, anyone can do it. And so it could go viral, right? Could go viral. Could be one of the killer apps that Pulsechain's looking for, just like we saw on Basechain with Friends, Friends app, where all the influencers got onto that and they were trading their names as, their profiles as shares, as things like that. That's kind of play. Now, the thing about this, that all the revenue, they're going to have part of the revenue, is going to be going to burn SolidX. So there's going to have a massive burn potential on this. And it's going to go not just to Pulsechain, but multi-chain as well. So it could be awesome. And I suspect that we're going to only have one SolidX. So if you talked about Titanix with the omni-chain strategy, with only having one supply on one chain and then spreading that supply over other chains, we could see this with SolidX. I think that's the way they're going to set this up. So it won't just be multi-chain potentially, but actually omni-chain, because maybe all the fees go back to burn SolidX on the Pulse chain. So it could be hyper bullish from that point of view. So very, very cool. This omni-chain theme starting to evolve a bit, right? It's starting to evolve a bit with the cross-chain aspects there. And, with technology like Layer Zero and stuff like that's helping with that, make that possible. All right, so that's kind of cool there on that one. So keep a lookout for that. We got a new one here, of course, Phoenix, PNX there. That's just launched 3 months ago, and that's ticking away there as well. We got, what else there? Jupiter ticking away there. Yep, note from Randy Alaski. So we talked about, what did we talk about? I just missed it here. Where'd it go? We talk about SolidX, but we also got note token for Randy Alaski. So this is SolidX's Firewall, but this is note tokens for Randy Alaski, and that's ticking away as well. So it's probably a pretty good entry on this. Yeah, it seems like a real bottomed out on this token, 0004, and of course got the backing of Randy Alaski, which is, he's OG crypto, superpower really. So it's probably not too bad to pick up a little bit of that as well. So kind of cool. He's got his no permissions group, which is probably the biggest social group out there. I have my own strategy club, which is where we head, but he has no permissions, which is probably the largest out there at the moment. So big shout out to that. So yeah, we've got quite a few there. Loan token making a bit of a move. It's down 4%, but obviously with the Fetch Oracle and Loan token, those are the two protocols from Liquid Loans ticking away there. They also have the Safe, Pulsechain Safe, where you can do multi-sig as well. So that's sitting out there also for Liquid Loans. What else we got? UFO ticking there, just going down here, 9-inch. So we talked about 9mm, right, earlier. Well, 9-inch is down 5% at the moment, but this is another one of the big dexes. So this is probably going to, when Pulsechain goes on a big run, Richard Hart token's on a big run, this is probably going to go on a big run, right? That's typically what happens when we get to altcoin season. And undervalued dexes typically like this, especially if it's number, top 3, 4, typically could do very well. And of course, you remember this is Hexy Bastard, right? I think there was like $16 million for this project sacrificed, and so he's sitting on quite a bit of water cash. I don't know whether he uses any of it to put into the protocol here, and maybe he did that back here in April, but it's definitely April 24, but it's definitely possible. We shall see what happens there. I don't know. You decide. But we got Pulsex and Signum token down a little bit there on the pullback. Looking at the top 100, we've got the Doubt token, another pump tires that's down 7% there at the moment. Just going through some of this dominance, another printer token from OG WebChef, down 8.6%. Let's have a quick look at that. Yeah, that's down at the bottom there at the moment. So some of these may be a good buy. You do need to get into the Fed Investor Telegram there, and keep up to pace with the changes that they make to these printed tokens. That's probably pretty important. Certainly riskier in that point of view. Now, Firewhale is one of the pump tires tokens that Firewhale launched, and of course this is based on his brand, and of course it's all waiting for the X game to launch, right? X game, which is the big token. So this is the one here. If you're thinking about X game coming up, this is the one that you want to get. It's another pump tires. It's only $1 billion. So you could get any of these pump tires ones, Firewhale or X game, and of course, and Solid X. There's 3 pump tires, Solid X, and of course then there's the original OG Solid X. That's the one you want to get. That's the one that's going to be burning, right? So these 4 tokens potentially could do very well, and it's something to think about, especially when they're on the pullback at the moment, waiting for that game to launch. It's kind of the big news event there. Most Wanted at the moment is ticking away. They're down 90%. This is a pump tires version, I think, from Richard Hart that came on the back of the original Ricky, which we've been talking about. Ricky is the original Richard Hart meme, and of course we've been talking about that on X a lot. This is the copy that came over with pump tires shortly after when pop tires launched. Gas Money, another one, of course, of the tokens here, doing very well. Just got pumped big time. It's doing pretty well there on that. So gas tires doing pretty well. You earn Pulse as well into your wallet. That's another one there. And of course, we've got the rest of them. So those are the top ones there at the moment. I'm going to quickly bring up Beast. So someone asked me about Beast. And then we're going to get into the chat there for some comments, and we're going to wrap up. All right. So Beast there at the moment. That's a pretty good entry in my view on the old Beast. That is the chart. And we're at $11.25 at the moment. I don't know if I've got an RSI in here, so we're going to pull up the RSI. Helps to some degree with these printed tokens, but obviously there's a lot of webbing and balancing going on to make the volumes, right? So with this one, you get Remember tokens, Missile tokens, and Gas Money, and then of course you get the benefits of those tokens. If you're holding those tokens, you get Pulse and other stuff dropped to your wallets. That's kind of how that works, and you can track all that on trackers, right? It's kind of cool. So we can see on the daily, the RSI has come back just below the 50. We're sitting at 48. So that's come back to $11.26. This is kind of what I said it would come back to yesterday in our Discord. If you'd been in Discord, you would have heard me say that. And this is kind of where we are at the moment. We've still got this mega uptrend here. We've still got that. So you can see the sort of the mega uptrend. But we've got, what's the line here? But if we take this sort of higher angular momentum, that's kind of where we are at the moment. So we're kind of sitting on a support area here, a pretty critical level here, and also the RSI. So that if it holds around that 50 RSI, then it might might start going back up again. So we'll see, but certainly it needs to hold this line back here, which would be around about $7.40, $7.50. So we'll see how that goes. If it holds this up into the roses there. Now, don't forget, with the volume's 442k, over liquidity 729, and therefore you're making a lot of your printer tokens based on the volume going through, right? So it sort of zigzags its way up at the moment. That's kind of where it is. So it's one of the better tokens, but once again, you've got to keep tabs with the investor team to make sure you know what's happening with any of the changes to any of these printer tokens in the wider ecosystem, right? So it's kind of cool. Now, the other thing I was going to say with Remember, if you're holding, I think it's 1 trillion Remember, they're going to have a special token launch soon that's going to have a big printer drop. So it could make Remember pretty popular as well. So I think you need 1 trillion tokens there. I'm not sure if I put that in there, but you need 1 trillion tokens. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. That will cost you $11,600 at the moment, but of course you're going to move the price up. So a lot of the whales with with 1 trillion tokens will be participating in that new printer token there. But if you want to find out more, like I say, you have to join a Telegram and get involved to go next level. There's only so many levels. Hey, we're up to I think we're getting pretty close to about 200 people on the live show. So a big shout. Appreciate everybody coming to watch. If you love this content, we do this all the time. We're just ramping up nonstop on the Kryptonite show here. And of course, I'm your host, Superman. Don't forget to smash the subscribe button right now. Hit it right now and smash the follow as well. And hit the like button. And most importantly, repost, reshare, whether it's in your socials or on Telegram or Discord, wherever you might be on X, share. And we're going to be covering more great stuff. And if you want to know everything about Pulsechain, it's going to be the place to be, right? We've been covering category after category of top performers. And we're just going to go to the next level. We've got so much good stuff coming up. I cannot tell you. And you will have a very good comprehensive understanding of Pulsechain watching this show. And as far as I know, we're the only influencer show doing that. in the Pulse chain. Now, other influencers do great jobs, but they cover more specific things from time to time, and I am covering it in comprehensive view. So hope you guys enjoy this, and it's all because I love Pulse chain, and we've been here since the beginning. Back when Richard Hart had a top hat. We've been here since Richard had a top hat. But it's going to be pretty exciting. So, all right, that's some cool stuff there. I hope you enjoyed some of that. We got more coming up. And like I say, we've started a new promotion service to help Pulse chain projects, the good ones, match up with the people. So if you want to hit us up, hit up MVS or myself in Telegram or Discord, and we can, talk about how we can help you out there. We want quality projects and quality people having a good time at Pulse chain. We don't want any more, really, really bad stuff happening, and we're going to help to play our role to make that happen. So it's going to be fun to see that, and of course that's why we're talking about all this stuff, so that people have a good idea what's going on at Pulse chain. It's certainly at an introductory level in any case, and then of course they can go and do some deep dives with their research. You must always do your own research. Always keep a critical thinking cap on, right? Never just plow into it and just leave your thinking cap over onto the side because it can bite you if you don't. All right, so we got JP says loving gas money. Yeah, it's a great one. Gas money is doing really well. Treasury for endless hex and EHEX yield says board. Doing pretty well there. Now I think you're talking about the Treasury there. Yeah. Let me jump over to RO there. Says ALGO liquidity bonded level play on Hex. A look at the ALGO. Yep, definitely doing a top performer there. Hex goes up. ALGO does very well. So very good observation there. Mean fire yield beneficial to Hex price as well. Been around since the beginning of Pulse chain launch. If you haven't covered it before. I've covered it many times, but I don't cover it as much as I should. That's probably true, but I do cover it from time to time. Heard the yield on the Beast was good. Yeah, Beast is performing like a boss, about 6%, 6.5% last time I checked. So that's the yield that you're getting from the Beast token. Good observation there too. Treasury is rare. At says Brandon. Good to see the Treasury team in the house there. Treasury printing crazy hexes. And Toshi, hey, hit me up, Toshi, me or MV. If you want to get some promotional support, especially for the long run, hit me up on the DMs or hit MVS up as well. Brandon says yields both EHEX and HEX just for the holding. And you guys are doing a great job. Still in the chat there. I love it. Treasury. We got Voxzilla in the house as well. Yeah, hey, we looked at Voxzilla. I think I had a bit of a sell-off yesterday, but we'll probably cover that again too. Reach out to the Voxzilla team. Tell them to contact me too if they want to get some promotional support there as well. Now, we always make sure the projects that we're talking about are generally pretty reasonable and pretty solid, because we don't want to talk about anything that's not good for people. What else there? Let's see here. USA says if you're staking Hex for T-shares and not holding Treasury, you are missing the bigger picture. Man, lots of good people shilling in the Treasury today. Definitely hit me up and see what we can do for you. DJ and Hex in the house there. Lots of hearts. Loving that. Brian says rugged. You haven't been rugged, Brian. You're still here. What else we got going? Let's see here. We're going to jump into we got Space Auctions in the house. Good to see the Space Auctions. And we got Sandy Beach as well. Hello, Superman and everybody. A big shout out to Sandy Beach. Sandy Beach is amazing. She does lots of fitness stuff for people out in the community. So big shout out there. And I hope you are doing well, Sandy. You know what I mean. Let's see there. I talked about Teddy. That's a Teddy takeover. That's the new one there that we were talking about, not the OG one, which has still got a huge community, the OG one there. But of course, it's associated to Atropa and the PDI meltdowns and dramas and things like that, which we have a neutral position on at the moment on PDI. So we were on the against for a while, but after reading 99 Capitals, we're in the mix there. But that doesn't fix up the problems, right? The major problems: no Oracle, historical prices, even for replays, and incorrect internal price Oracle for that. So there's still a lot of problems, and of course the flop auctions, right, being extended nonstop. So we'll see how that all plays out in the end. We'll keep an open mind though. We got Pre-rendered Banana in house there. Big shout out. Hit the like and sub, ladies and gentlemen. And if you're new tools, a chain, welcome. Yeah, absolutely. Now, once again, I talked about PDC earlier. If you want to get the number one guy on PDCs, from my opinion, there are other great people covering it, but Prairie Banana is just the top of there. If you want the next level, you want to get the tactics and the strategies and what you should do, you got to go watch Prairie Banana's channel without a doubt. He is one of the best, I would say, influencers and educators on Pulsechain. So big shout out to you, Prairie Banana. King is printing heavy Pulsex most and new Teddy says not good. It certainly is. Great show, boss, says Brian. I appreciate that. We're coming up to an hour and 15 minutes, which is my max time generally. So we're doing pretty good there. And yeah, pretty good. We got Treasury and King in the house. Great to see your teams in the chat here today. And of course, you guys can always hit me up and our promotional lead, MVS, if you need any support for that. And well, finally, it's great to finish with a nice hug. Thank you so much, Sandy Beach. Appreciate that. Kind of cool. Oh, we got one more comment. Crypto Cycles, did you listen to the Titanx weekly stream about Eros Revival? Plan to revive built on Titanx coins. No, I didn't get around to that, but I'm certainly tracking Titanx. I didn't talk about it today. Talked about it yesterday, though. So we will be covering that. Now, at the moment for me, Titanx is a buy. It's at the bottom of the cycle, and so it's a buy at the moment for most of the Titanx projects with all the buy and burns turned off. So kind of cool. Eros Revival. Yeah, I'll follow up on that. Crypto Cycles, appreciate the heads up on that one. Don't you love it when the community just gives you a few little tips on the way? It's great. So we're all in the same team. So it's great to see some alpha being dropped there. Combining PTC and be on the pulse chain. We'll check that out, Crypto Cycles. Appreciate that. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Man, it was pretty fun. We covered the top performers on pulse chain at the moment and gave a few tips about some long-term value. If you always want some long-term value with the rich heart coins and some of the top tokens. PTC, I would say, is a good investment vehicle. Teddy looks pretty good, is a bit more speculative, but huge influence of support there. We've got the printer tokens running hot right now, dropping all the best tokens, Pulse, Hex, and all sorts of stuff. There's lots of varieties of printer tokens now. It is a very exciting place to be on Pulse Chain. Very exciting indeed, and something for everybody. Now, to keep a diversified portfolio. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Do not do that. That is a mistake. So I'm just looking out for everybody. It's easy to do, right? Easy to get FOMO. Easy. It's an emotional thing. We're humans. We're emotional beings, and so you got to keep control of that as well. And we talked a little bit about TA, using some RSIs to help you know when something's overbought, oversold, using moving averages, maybe a 9 and a 34 or a 50 and a 200 day kind of averages. You can use that on different time frames, 4 hours as well, and weekly and monthly as well. So those kind of some basic tools. Hopefully people got a little bit out of that. Apart from that, join our socials. That's all I can say. Join our socials. Yeah, all Titanx coins are cheap. They are. It's pretty much a buy signal right now, and all the buy and bins are turned off. So Omnichain is coming. So yeah, and some of the devs are doing a lot of innovations. Kind of cool. All right, I think that was it. Join our Discord. That is the link there. It's also in the video description. And of course, join our Telegram as well. It is hot right now. Free alpha list there with a whole list of cool performing tokens. They will vary from day to day, of course. That's markets for you. But most of the time, our list has been in the green. But today's the first day we had a few in a bit of a pullback. Some of those printed tokens, but that's they go up and down cycles, and they pay out in volume. So you got to expect a bit of that. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you very much to our community leaders, Brian and Wookie, and all the moderators in the chat. And a big shout out to all the project teams that were able to make it here today. I really appreciate it. We're all one community, and we want a really successful, bullish pulse chain. And it all takes all of us to make that happen. So hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll take care, and I'll catch you on the next show. Bye for now.